Hey all, and this is the Witching Hour event. This is a Light Slayer event and Arcane Killer. So I'm rather limited for what I can use this event. The best team I can make up is out of Commander cards, believe it or not. If you have a look, Light, Arcane Killer, Slayer cards, you'll see I don't have any card that has the killer skill needed, which means I have a major problem. So yeah, the best option for me this time around is to use a commander deck, so this is what I'm come up with. So the idea behind this deck, Lady of the Lake and Divine Sovereigns both have this Excalibur skill that boosts up the next commander card. Have a look there, Excalibur increases their damage by 500% for 2 turns, so when combined with Destined Geo, which spawns quite a few power gems, and then Afterlife Alliance and Bjorn the Golden, it does alright. Both these cards have a commander boost. Have a look, let's find it, there we go. Light commander damage by 70% for 2 turns. Same with this card. It does alright damage, nothing spectacular, but it's actually better than any of my Slayer options, so this is all I can really use, I think, this time around. And then, as always, with the relics, make sure you have enough to break all the arcane shields. There we go, that's 2-2, then 1, and then just a general light commander relic to finish, since I've already got the 6 shields broken. So what else could I do in this sort of situation? Well, what I could do is try a different colour. Scroll up to the top. For example, out of these cards, probably my only other option could be something based around the Bonafide Brawlers, but again, I don't think it would do as much damage as my Light Commander deck. So it's difficult. It's difficult for me to really do a lot this time around. I'm probably going to be tagging for most of the event. Added to that, there are Radiants as well, which are quite a bit tougher than the korelium bosses. So, yeah, difficult event. I'm not going to be opening the vault this time around either, as I want to save for the next event. So let's give this a try in the actual event. So here we go. Alright, so here we go with the actual event. As you can probably see here, there are now Radiant bosses up. That's the main change to this event. There's quite a few Radiant bosses that have been rallied to me. Seems like this is going to be one of those events where a lot of bosses get rallied due to the difficulty to defeat them. So, before we go any further, let's have a look at the trophy values. If you have a look at the korelium boss, you will see 295 million for the MVP and 343 million for the 50% damage. Compared to a Radiant around the same level, the Radiant bosses is not actually that much higher, in all fairness. About double, I would say. So there you go. A bit over double, actually. This one's a bit higher level than the other one I checked. This is around triple the trophies, I would say. Maybe slightly under triple, but that gives you an idea of the value of the Radiant bosses. Yeah, they're very difficult to defeat, admittingly, but the trophies probably make it worthwhile. Even if you can't defeat them, you may want to just go to the highest prestige just to rally them. That's up to you to decide. So I did make up one other team that I'm going to try out on this korelium boss. I'm going to try this team here. I've mixed in the Jailers with the previous deck that I showed you that I was using. You could also try Circuit Break Hilaria, however, that relies on getting a lot of fire power gems on the grid in order for it to be effective. So let's give this a try. I don't think this is going to work very well, but we will find out in a minute. Right, so first turn, match as many green gems as possible. This might be quite hard as it's going to be difficult to get enough green gems, but I'll try and see what happens. Yeah, this is probably going to be the main problem with this deck. Getting enough green gems, as all the gems sort of disappear each turn. Let's see if I can do this anyway. I'll probably only be able to get out one attack, making this deck not very effective at all, but kind of curious to what the damage will be here, more than anything. Lots of light gems. Okay, there's quite a few green gems now. Let's hope they actually stay on the grid. Now, they've all been taken. Oh, there we go. Okay, I can try this out now. The first thing I'm going to do is use just this card on its own, like so. And then I'll try those two cards and see what happens. Actually, I think I've made a mistake, as you need another card for the boost, so I should have saved that. Anyway, let's see what this does. I don't think I'm going to be using this anyway. It's just to see what the damage is like. So the damage on the middle card... Oh, wait a sec. 64 and 228 trillion. So with a bit of work, this could actually work, I think. I think what I need to do here is put some more Earth Relics on the team. Yeah, that's actually surprisingly effective. Let me show you what my previous team was doing. I put Starborn Sentinels on the team just because one of the bosses had Gem Silence and you need a counter. There we go, you can see Dispel Gem Silence. So I think what I'm going to do now is put Destined Duo back on the team. So that was, I believe, Immortal Killer. Yeah, let me show you the damage as it was originally. It works with the Jailers. It works pretty well. So that's something to consider if you have the event deck. Try mixing in the Jailers, or maybe try Circuit Break Hilaria and see what you can do. The base damage is much lower without the Jailers. This is a Commander deck as well, so bear that in mind. Yeah, so that's the damage. Without the Jailers, as you can see, the damage is a lot lower. So I think I know how to use this deck now. Or should I say, do decent damage with the deck. I'm going to try the Jailers deck again, I think, in a minute. This isn't particularly effective on a korelium. This is okay on the diamonds, but not on the korelium. So I'm going to ignore that rally for now and try swapping this relic out for an Earth Commander relic and see if I can get enough gems to actually make this team work. So let's try that. So that's enough to break the 6 shields. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, enough Earth gems to get the Jailers going at the start. So let's try this out. If it works, it will be good. And it might, you never know, give me something that I can actually attack those Radiant bosses with. It's not bad. Not quite enough. Ah, I'm one short on the Earth gems. That's really unlucky. That might work. Okay, so yeah, I've got the same problem again. I think I might need a 4th Earth Relic in order to get enough gems up at the start. Let's have a look at what I could do. Wondering if I've got another Earth Arcane Killer relic. Let's have a quick look. I will make this work. Arcane Killer, there we go. Unfortunately, no ultimate. Yeah, that's quite difficult. I don't know if I can actually do anything else other than try this, because as you can see there, not enough. Well, I could try. Hold on, I have an idea. It's not going to work, but I had an idea, yeah. I was going to try swapping out this relic for another Arcane Killer. I don't have enough relics, so I need 4. I know, let's just try it with 1 shield up. I know this might sound stupid, but I don't think I could break all the shields. Let's see what this does. I just need enough Earth Gems at the start to use the Jailers, then this may well work. Of course, it's a 2-turn deck, but the bosses seem to be quite slow to being killed this event. It leaves up 1 shield, but gives me quite a few more Earth Gems. I can make this work, I think, now. Okay. And now from here, use those skills. Boost, 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 and then let's see what this does. Yeah, that's pretty poor. Disappointing damage. It relies on luck as well to get the high value power gems. It worked okay in my previous attempt, but now it's not working at all, so not sure yet. I may just stick with my original deck. Or the other option is to just tag everything, basically. But this is why I do this, to test out various decks. See what works, see what does not work. Now I'll try again this time. Let's see what power gems I have. I'll try matching just those 2 over there. Oh, wait a sec. This might do the business. Yeah, that's not bad. Better than my previous hit, anyway. Have to wait a long time for the Jailers to be active, unfortunately. It's difficult. It's difficult without good cards. I've heard it's quite difficult even with the event deck as well, so it's going to be one of those events, I think, where everyone struggles with the bosses. That always happens when they make a change to the difficulty or add a new type of boss. Everyone always struggles to start, then later on, everyone will just fly through those Radiant bosses like they're nothing. Well, I didn't match the gems or use all the skills, so that's not going to do anything. That gives you an idea, though. I'll go ahead and finish off this boss and then take it to the top prestige anyway. Okay, so now the boss is defeated. I did rally it out. Definitely helped a lot rallying it. Running out of keys. There's 6 attacks on that boss as I was testing out teams. I don't think I'm going to use the Jailers. I think I'm just going to stick with the basic team. It just seemed very erratic on the damage it deals, and I'll swap out Destined Duo when needed for Starborn Sentinels if the boss has Gem Silence. I'm probably going to focus mainly on diamonds, but I'm taking it to the final prestige just to see what it looks like. So here we go. Crazy ideas using a commander deck. Not recommended at all. I probably should be staying on prestige 5 or 6, but it's done now. Let's have a look at the bosses. So the weakest bosses now are the diamond bosses. I have a korelium up. 44 minutes though, the time is different. Oh wow, I have a... Look at that. That's an excellent boss, but I've got no chance against it. Plus it's got gem silence on it. But yeah, that gives you an idea of what the bosses are like. Look at the trophies for getting MVP on that. Look at that. Yeah, so that's the way to do well in this event. Get MVP on the Radiant bosses, of course. That's going to be very difficult. Yeah, another rally. Everyone's rallying these Radiants, as I don't think many players can kill them, but... Yeah, I'll give the korelium boss a go and probably rally that Radiant to the guild. Alright, so let's have a look at the actual event rewards. It's worth noting it's likely a Radiant Crusade map and Radiant bosses will end up in Commander. I'm also expecting a lot of Radiant bosses to be rallied, and quite a few of them are likely to escape. Not many players seem to want to hit them, as in this example of a level 172 one. It's just sat there with no one really hitting it, even though 9 players are on the boss. So the collection is actually looking pretty good. As for your legends, it's mainly focusing on A-line. There's quite a few items that are difficult to get. For example, these Pentaric gem shards, or whatever they're called. So yeah, this is a welcomed collection for those who want to get their legends leveled up. There we go, let's claim that. Now, I'm not seeing if it's a Dragoon or Warden this time around. Going to have another look at that now. Here we go, it's a Dark Warden. What's the Defender skill? Might, okay. Yeah. Might doesn't really have much use in all fairness. So not an especially effective Warden, however there are a lot of Dark defences out there. You never know, you might find a place for this Warden somewhere on your team. Okay, so finally let's have a look at the actual event deck. As you can see here, I've not opened the vault yet, and I'm not planning to do so. I need to save my gems for the next event, the Fire Commander event. Then probably play that event as hard as possible, ideally with the event deck. So this is the card I'm missing from the collection. I'm sure I've had this card before, but doesn't seem to be counting. So I can't finish this collection, unfortunately, and get that last coin. So the 2 cards, let's start with this card. So there's been a few jokes about Great Mother Hazel, mainly because the card looks like Michael Jackson, but we don't really need to go into that. Anyway, what does the card actually do? Creates a lot of power gems, cleanses 1 debuff from all Light Slayers, so feels like a GVG deck based on that. I didn't see any boosts though in the damage with that card, so... Oh, well that's a weak damage increase. That's a very weak damage increase. It's normally around 60 to 70%. So this deck is weak, basically. This is why everyone's struggling with the event. The damage boost is low compared to many other decks from the season. So you need other cards with this deck to make it work, basically. The damage boost is too low. It has a refresh skill on it. Refresh skill. Interesting. Right, the battle skill can be used immediately after refreshing. So you'll probably get 40% attack bonus on the cards rather than 20%, as it's going to gem crush everything. I guess it could be good, depending on how you use it, but to me, this deck looks pretty weak. I probably would not recommend going for this deck unless you're a player that tends to go for all the decks. I would say other decks from the season are better than this, but that's just my opinion. And there we go, that about covers this event. I hope that was helpful. This is going to be a struggle for quite a few players. Going to get up to spawning those Radiant bosses and then have a lot of problems defeating them. Then quite a few bosses are likely to time out. But if you can do decent damage to those Radiant bosses, then this event should be pretty good for you. And you should do really well. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. And thanks for watching.